Welcome to the workshop. Not the workshop you're used to. My home workshop slash workspace slash cellar. It's chaos. I mean, it's always chaos down here. I'd love to tell you that it's normally really tidy, and it's just particularly chaotic because of moving out of the garage. But no, it's always chaos down here. And one day maybe that will change, but that's not today. Quick update. I thought I'd show you a quick cheeky video from inside my storage unit, and the sad little car there all on its own. I'm pretty much 100% out of the garage now. Things got slightly delayed because the door collapsed, and so I couldn't actually get in to get out. But I'm mostly out of there now, just got some rubbish and some scrap metal to move. And so I'm in here doing stuff. I'll give you a little bit of a tour and show you what I've been working on mostly. Because the big thing for me is getting the car roadworthy again. And the big thing it's missing at the moment is lights and a rear number plate. So I've got to fabricate the parts to fit those things. And if you follow the channel, you know before Christmas my 3D printer packed up. It's still not 100%, but it's getting there. So this is my Creality CR10S Pro. It's a bit like the ship of Theseus now. I've replaced so many parts, so certainly it feels that way. It's had a new relay for the heated bed. It's had a new heated bed. The heated bed is now mounted slightly on, if you can see that, bits of Meccano, because the one that came to replace the original didn't have the same spaced mounting holes. It's had some upgrades along the way. I've actually taken some upgrades off. It's got a new PTFE tube, a few 3D printed bits on it, nothing serious, no major upgrades. As you can tell from various bits of spaghetti, it's not printing brilliantly yet, although this one right now looks to be coming out okay. I'll show you what that is in a second. So yeah, it's working again. Is it working well enough to do big prints like the light buckets? Not tested it yet, but we shall have to wait and see. Over here, past my Tetris lights, you have a rear inverter from Outlander. You may have seen this before on the channel. It looks like it was in a fire. The plugs got very melty. Not great light in here. I've still got to do some work on that. So I've got some replacement plugs and a 3D printed part that goes on, yeah, like that. There. I'm planning to fully refurbish this, give it a coat of paint, make it look all nice. And that then might match up with the spare rear motor I've got once I repair that. BMW S box. This is the one that used to be in my car, the modified one that you can control via these pins. So they're just high-low, 12 volt, and there's some canvas in there as well to pull data out of the shunt. So I'll use this one for my test setup. Got a spare, I've got a couple of these now, spare instrument binnacle to muck around with modifying. I've already got one with screens in. I need to make those work. Some battery packs. This is 2 of the 5 that are going to go into the rear of the car once it's sorted, and another BMW S box which will probably go in there. Over here, some more random bits, my spanners, a Gigavac contactor, could do with another one of those actually, a little relay out of an S box. I think that one's not fried. I did destroy some, and this is the Lear shunt out of the S box. I believe someone's now got that running with Zombieverter, so that's super cool. Got a little, there goes my tripod. Got a little radiator there which I'll use in my cooling loop. Plan is I've got some sorting to do here. All this is going, and some new custom shelving's going in when I get a chance. I've got a charger down there. Once that corner's sorted, I plan to put a sort of permanent rig for a test setup in here. I don't really want to build a full test setup up here anymore now I've got unfinished, but new work surfaces, new shelves and books and things. I don't want coolant going everywhere. So my test rig will be mounted down there somewhere. Lots of number plates up there, and I'm in the middle of sorting out all the stuff that came out of the garage over there, so it's all sort of going into drawers and boxes and bags and being tidied up at the same time as I'm doing various jobs around the house. Our heating's broken, our dishwasher's broken, both in the last week, so that's sinking my cash as well as my time. Anyway, this is what this video is really about. As you can tell from this print, my printer's not working perfectly yet. Got a poor first layer and some lifting on this one, but this is the latest iteration of my number plate hinge, and so you may remember the plan is for on the back of my car the number plate to hinge down. I know for police reasons it would be better if it hinged up, that way it can't ever sort of drop down and be hidden, but it would be really awkward to access. Given how low it's going to be, it'll be very awkward to access the charging ports if it's sort of flipping up and constantly dropping down, unless I put it on gas struts or something. And then if it's on gas struts, you've got the same problem as it dropping down, because it might just pop up and be hidden. So I figured it'd be easier to have it fold down, but very securely held up so that it doesn't fall in motion. And I want to be able to remotely drop it with a push of a button. I'll have a pull cable as well. So the plan is to reuse the solenoid from the Z3's fuel filler flap. There's an electric solenoid on that. It's got a relatively short action. And so what I've designed is this hinge here. This is actually on the wrong side. And this is only the current iteration. It's going to be redesigned. I can actually take these mounting holes off, I've realised now. But what you've got basically is a latch, sort of latch that goes into a striker. There's another plate, which is what's on the printer now, which holds the other end of this threaded bar. It'll actually have a shank on it when it's the final one. But this latch basically, and the tolerances aren't right yet, which is why it's hard to get in. This latch sits in there, so at that point the hinge is closed and cannot open. When you pull the pull cable, either with a solenoid or with a hand pull, it releases this latch. It will only swing to about here, because there'll be a stop on the piece that's printing now. It'll swing to about here. This is spring loaded, by the way. So it'll release, and I'll probably spring load the hinge as well, and the hinge opens. And you can see sometimes it does print really nicely. That's a very clean print. So I've got some work, as I say, to do on the tolerances. It needs to be slightly easier, need a little bit more clearance in this gap here around the receiver, so that it doesn't sort of click shut, it just sort of snaps shut. I need a bit more clearance to get the latch into the receiver, get the pin into the receiver, and obviously I need to print the final piece, which is on the printer now. I'm going to do away with these mounting holes because I've realised that actually I can use these two holes, I think, we'll see, with a redesigned backplate to mount the whole thing against the actual this thing, whatever you want to call this thing. So this will all mount on here. Don't need those external mounting holes anymore, so I'll sit it there. There'll be this bit will actually go through here, so the hinges will actually sit slightly behind this, and a lot of this will be taken out. Probably like a nice oval or something with 3 charge ports, type 1, type 2, CHAdeMO. And then yeah, that should sit there. Shouldn't wobble around too much if it's mounted at both sides. You'll pull the cord and it will drop out there. And yeah, it's coming along quite nicely, I think. Obviously I've got to fiberglass this into the car. Doing that in situ in a storage unit is going to be interesting, but hey, might get away with it. So if it wasn't clear from all black plastic on black plastic before how the hinge works, hopefully this will give you an idea. So this black piece mounts to the number plate surround and folds forward to allow you access, goes through a full 180 degrees to allow you to access to the charge ports over here, and it locks, hello, it locks into place with this red pin here. And the red pin pulls, so there'll be a little hole here, there'll be a spring in here, and the cable, the pull cable goes in through this hole, pulls on the end of the this lever, and rotates the catch out of the way, releasing a striker which is screwed through the other side of the hinge into the number plate surround. As I say, I plan to do away with these mounting holes. I don't need those because actually these holes are now redundant, these two big holes here, so I can shrink those down and use those as mounting points for this hinge, make the whole thing much narrower, cheaper and easier to print, and at the same time I'll probably expand the back plate here to put a second mounting hole through to make it a bit more solid, and give a second stop for the strike, for the pin. And yeah, generally it's coming along nicely. Pretty happy with this. So that's it for this little home workshop update. More of these to come. With a bit of luck, you'll see this room getting tidier. We shall see. But you will see some progress. You'll see light buckets coming off and being bonded into the car. You'll see that hinge being finished off and mounted onto the car with at least one charge port so that I can charge the car. And ideally, at some point, you'll see the car going back for another MOT so that we can get it back on the road and into the paint shop. Still a lot of bodywork to do, but I'm hoping if I can't find a space to do it in myself, and that's proving tricky, I can maybe do some preparation on the drive and then get it into a professional, because I'm absolutely not painting that car. It is well beyond my skill set, and it's not something I particularly would like to learn. It'd be lovely to be able to do it. Don't have the time and the patience to do it well, and I want that car to be beautiful, so that's all to come. Thanks for watching. Video's likely to be more intermittent at the moment, both because I don't have a garage to film in and because work's really busy. I've got a few things going on work-wise which are keeping me busy, and likewise things in the house keep breaking, so you know, there's only one of me. Thanks for watching. Catch you on the next one. Bye bye.